Proverbs 27 verses 23 to 27 instructs us to be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds, for riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. When the hay is removed and the tender grass shows itself, and the herbs of the mountains are gathered in, the lambs will provide your clothing, and the goats the price of a field. You shall have enough goat's milk for your food, for the food of your household, and the nourishment of your maidservants. This vocabulary may be a little bit foreign to us because we live in a more urban society. So allow me to illustrate this through the story of Ronald James Reed, who was born in October 23, 1921. He grew up in Dummerston, Vermont, in an impoverished farming household. He walked or hitchhiked 4 miles daily to his high school and was the first high school graduate in his family. He enlisted in the United States Army during World War II, serving in Italy as a military policeman. Upon an honorable discharge from the military in 1945, Reed returned to Brattleboro, Vermont, where he worked as a gas station attendant and a mechanic for about 25 more years. Reed retired for 1 year and then took a part-time janitor job at J.C. Penney, where he worked for another 17 years until 1997. Reed died in 2014, and his estate was nearly $8 million, much of which was in shares of stock. He bequeathed $2 million to his stepchildren, caregivers, and friends. He donated $4.8 million to Brattleboro Memorial Hospital and $1.2 million to Brooks Memorial Library. His neighbors, family, and friends did not know the scale of the money he had amassed. Reed used a safety pin on his fraying khaki denim jacket so he could continue wearing it, and put on shabby flannel shirts. Reed was a regular at a local restaurant where one time a patron paid for his meal because the patron thought Reed couldn't even afford the meal. He owned a used 2007 Toyota Yaris, which Reed's lawyer said despite his being a millionaire, whenever Reed visited, he parked in the further parking spaces that did not have parking meters. This case may sound quite extreme because he lived his life in such a contrast to the wealth that he had. But it sounds like he knew exactly what causes were going to be blessed with his wealth. And he made sure his estate was well planned. In other cases, there may not be much worldly wealth to distribute, but our loved ones will still need access to accounts that require passwords. Here's an idea that was given by a local expert who deals with cybersecurity. He says that so many troubles and family conflicts could be avoided if every household had a paper notebook where they wrote all their passwords to all their accounts. That way, if there's a tragic sudden death, at least that's one less problem to deal with by accessing the accounts more easily. And you know, that's part of estate planning too. It's also an act of stewardship. Join me tomorrow as we examine the opposite of today's lesson in a study of deathbed charity. I'll see you tomorrow.